everyone, my name is Alpha. Welcome to plummysims and welcome to today's fit build. I hope you're doing well and having such an amazing day. So today we are building in the world of Dilsel Valley, and today we're building a kind of like a family house. Actually, I was kind of planning this as a not so berry house for the first generation, which is the mint generation. And if you're not familiar with not so berry challenge, it's actually like a challenge created by Lil Simsy or Kayla, and it's been in the community for I don't know how long, but for very long time. And it's kind of one of the kind of like classic challenge besides Rags to Riches and Legacy Challenge and Black Widow, I think. And I've been wanting to build something for the not so berry challenge, but I hadn't gotten the chance to do it. But I finally decided just to kind of like sit down and kind of create a build for the challenge, even though by the time I finished this build I wasn't really sure if this is minty enough. I mean, the color mint is very specific. It's kind of in between this kind of like a powder baby blue with the also like the same hue of green, so it's like a blend of blue and green, but it's more like slightly lean towards green than blue, if that makes sense. And I have to say that it's not very easy for me to build it because again, I wasn't really sure whether it should fit how many sims. And with the not so berry challenge, it has to have at least 2 bedrooms, I think. So for the like the mint gen and also the next generation, which is I think Rose, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I have a tab open of the not so berry challenge. I will put the blog post from Lil Simsy Tumblers on the description box below in case you want to check that out. But actually this challenge is kind of like a I don't know, color based challenge that represent each color for each generation. So they have this very specific kind of like traits and careers and stuff, so it kind of challenge you to maybe play out of your comfort zone a little bit. So you have to play it based on the rules that we already have from the Tumblr post. And the first generation is mint, of course, as I mentioned, and I'm gonna read it from the Tumblr post from Lil Simsy's Tumblr. So the generation mint is a mischievous scientist that really loves the color mint. They're career driven but still make time for silly pranks and outings with their closest friends, and they love luxury and want the best for themselves and their family. And the traits they have, I mean this generation, the mint generation have, are vegetarian, jealous, and materialistic. And the aspiration is chief of mischief, which I think is so fun. And the career they should have is scientist. And basically the rules are very simple. You just have to master like everything. So for this generation, you have to master the scientist career and complete the chief of mischief aspiration, and also you have to master the mischief and logic skills, and you need to complete all of the elements collection. So I can say that it's kind of a fun challenge, but it's not that easy to finish everything, especially if you play with the shorter lifespan, which makes you have shorter time to finish everything. But it's gonna be really fun and kind of challenging. I mean, that's the point of doing a challenge. But I really like the idea of having kind of like this color-based challenge of not so berry, because you can play out of your comfort zone. And sometimes, I don't know about you, but when I was into kind of doing the gameplay, like I don't know how many years ago, I was kind of a little bit bored with how I play my game, because it ended up me doing the same thing over and over. And doing this kind of like a challenge based story makes it a bit more fun, and you have to like do some work with the sims, and it's kind of fun. And I really like the idea of having challenges. So for this house we have 4 bedrooms, I would say. 4 bedrooms and maybe 3.5 bathrooms. 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, which I think is more than enough. So I wanted to do a house that not just very specific made for the Mint Gen of not so very challenged, the first gen, but it should be, I don't know, a bit more inclusive, so it's not just made for that sim. And basically I wanted to have a house that kind of like very realistic in a way that you can see this type of house in real life. I mean, at least the exterior part. And I think I did alright. I like this build a lot. And even though this is meant for the Mint Gen, it doesn't look very minty inside. So I tried to combine it with like creamy beige color and also some white and maybe like pale gray color. So it doesn't look too bland with only bluish minty color. And we have 3 bedrooms upstairs and 1 bedroom downstairs, and this is the bedroom, the first bedroom, and it's supposed to be for the next gen, which is, I think, is Rose, the second gen. And I tried to use this kind of like a pinky peachy, a bit more rosy color for this bedroom. And all of the bedrooms has different color tones, so this one has rosy color tone. And we have another bedroom for, I mean, it's not like bedroom, it's more like nursery upstairs, so you can, I don't know, maybe just like choose which kids you want it to be for the next heir. And that nursery is also this kind of like a pinky rosy color, so I think it should be alright. And we have another bedroom which is for the parents, I mean the first gen, the first heir, I think, which is the Mint Gen sim. And it doesn't just like minty color, but it has this creamy beige, so it's not too like mint all over the house, if that makes sense. So it's a bit too much, I think, but I tried to combine it with some other colors, so it looks kind of, you know, more makes sense, at least for me. And we have another bedroom upstairs, but it should be for like an extra bedroom, maybe for the, I don't know, the grandparents, or I don't know, their friends, the guest bedroom, or maybe if they have like a, I don't know, some friends, some co-workers that want to spend some days here, staying for a couple of days here, they can stay there on the guest bedroom. Or maybe if you have Discovery University, or maybe it's not Discovery University exclusive, I'm not sure, but we have this thing that called the roommate system, and you can basically just like rent the entire room for some strangers, depends on how many beds you have. And maybe you can just like rent it, so you can get some, I don't know, just like a couple of hundreds of millions, I think. And I think that's another way to get some money. And I have to say that I had hard time building this, especially furnishing and doing the exterior part, because this house is located on the 40 by 30 lot on the more normal looking neighborhood in Delzal Valley. And if you know me, I barely built in Delzal Valley. I think the last time I built here was last year, maybe last September, or I don't know, but it was like a community lot. I think it's like a hangout lot for the teenage sims, but it's not on this neighborhood. It's on the like community lost neighborhood where the crazy looking museum is, if that makes sense. And I couldn't even remember the last time I built here, but that's just because I don't really like building in Delzal Valley because of the lighting and also how huge the lots are. I much prefer like a 30 by 20 or 30 by 30. I think 30 by 30 is like a perfect spot, like a safe spot for me. It's like the perfect size, but 40 by 30 is just so big. But I have to say that I think for next not so very builds, I'm gonna kind of like make it a bit smaller. I'm gonna make the build just slightly smaller, because that means I don't have to deal with furnishing a huge lot. But if you'd like to see me building bigger builds in the future, do let me know. I'm very open to that, but it's just not gonna be very so often, like maybe 3 builds back to back, because that will be very exhausted. But yeah, do let me know what you think of that. And one more thing, I didn't really limit the packs usage here, so I am very sorry about that. I used so many packs. I am so sorry. I feel so bad. It's not that I have to feel bad, but I've been in a time where I don't have the access to download like so many builds because they use so many packs that I didn't have, and I understand how it feels. So I can tell already that this build is not very accessible for many players, but I promise I will do much lesser packs in the future for my NSB challenge. But yeah, I hope you're okay with this build. And this is the backyard. So since this is a very big lot, as I mentioned, I kind of like do this weird looking sandbox, not sandbox actually, but more like sand pit area. So it's kind of more organic, I would say. And we have a basketball hoop, we have the telescope, like mini telescope from base game, not the huge observatory one. And I did put a chess table and also the kiddie pool because I think it's really fun since they don't have any pools here. And also we have some bikes and planter boxes, and I think that's for the activity items on the outside, I mean the exterior part, the side yard. And I did playtest, everything works just fine, even though I have to say that I struggled a lot with the build so much because I built this in a week. Like I mean not like exactly a week, but like 2 weekends. So I started off on Saturday afternoon or more like early evening, and I finished at, I don't know, 7-8 p.m. and then I tried to finish it the next day on Sunday just for like 3-4 hours, but I was too exhausted and I didn't have the mood to finish it, so I finished it the next weekend, which is like just, I don't know, a couple of days ago. And it stressed me out so much because it took me that long to finish this build, but I mean it's all worth it. And this is Del Sol Valley, so I do understand why I wasn't really in the mood finishing this build because the lighting matters a lot, and you can tell that it has this, I don't know, yellowish green tint, even though I have a reshade on, but it's more like yellowy, more, I don't know, warm tone over here in Del Sol Valley than any other worlds, and I don't really like that much. But I hope you're okay with everything. I hope you like this build as much as I do. And we're basically doing the backyard here, so I tried to put as many skill building items or activity items as possible, so at least even though this build use so many packs, you have a lot of things to play with, so it doesn't look like crazy because I use millions of packs for, I don't know, clutter items. So yeah, I hope you're okay with that. And we're basically finishing up the build with some landscaping and terrain paints, and we'll be heading on to the screenshots in just a little bit. So if you'd like to download this build, this is already available on the gallery. My ID is elfathiera, or you can find it under the hashtag plummysims. You can also click the download link on the description box below that will bring you to my Ko-fi blog post. It'll have 2 different links. The first one is the gallery download link, and the other one is the Treehouse link from Simfashare. So yeah, I think that's it. I really hope you find this video inspiring and also the build useful to your game. And if you do, please make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Also make sure to be subscribed to the channel if you haven't already. And if you'd like to, you can also ring the bell so you'll be notified every single time I have a new video posted. And do let me know what kind of style you'd like me to build for the next gen, which is the Rose gen, and how many bedrooms and bathrooms we should have for the house. I'm very open to feedbacks and I need your suggestions a lot. And yeah, I think that's it. I'm going to go now. Thank you so very much for hanging out with me today and always supporting me. I hope you have the very best day, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!